This is my foster dog, Lily. She was surrendered and went into foster with me. She was pregnant at less than a year old by her own brother. She came to me very, very skittish and scared. She was overdue. I started to get nervous. I felt like something was wrong. And I researched everything that could go wrong. And it did, and so much more. And her pregnancy was super difficult. The first baby, she stopped pushing. She didn't know what to do. She's a puppy. It got stuck. I worked on the baby for 45 minutes and was unable to revive it. The second baby also got stuck and she refused to keep pushing, and that baby came out legs first. Fortunately, I was able to break the sac and get the baby and revive the baby. Well, she had 5 total and the one passed away. And so we had 4 beautiful little babies. So she had to have an emergency C-section, and I took her and the babies home, and the nursing wasn't going well. She wasn't producing enough milk. They weren't able to latch up. So we put them on milk replacer. The next day, one of the little babies was getting really sick and he was refusing to eat. So I took him to the vet and they said, he's okay. You just have to work with him. And he wants to eat on the side and prop his mouth open. His belly was a little bloated, so they gave him some fluids and an enema. Later that day, he got much, much sicker. And I took him to the vet, and at this point, he was barely holding his head up. He was refusing to eat, and they said his stomach was too hard and he had too much gas, and they gave him a gas X, and he was fine. And I asked them to monitor him, but they said that they would just do the same thing and it was better to take him home. So I took him home, and an hour later, he passed away around 2 a.m. And the next day, which was day 3 of their lives, another one of the little babies was starting to have the same problem, and his stomach got really hard. And I took him to the vet, and they said, you're just not feeding him enough. And I was feeding him every 3 to 4 hours like they needed to be. But he clearly wasn't okay, and so I pushed, and I said, no, this is exactly what happened with the other baby. His stomach is hard, he's uncomfortable. And so they said, the milk replacer is the problem, take them off. But Lily was having problems nursing them, and it wasn't going well. And he was starting to get better, and his belly was getting better. But for their own good, we had to move them to another foster mom with another mama doggy who had just weaned her pups so that they could get healthy and get better. It was the only option, and it was super sad. And so now I'm working with Lily to help her be more comfortable and hopefully find the perfect family. And we're pulling for those 3 babies that are left. And it's all because an irresponsible breeder bred her with her own brother. Please pull for these babies and help us save them.